A new decade is starting and you're contemplating if you're going to quit your full-time job and be your own boss so you can control your own time and have that freedom. Or maybe you're a fresh grad and you're thinking, should I join the corporate world or do my own thing? Or maybe you're the freelancer who's now looking for stability and security. In my lifetime, I have been both. I've been a full-time employee for more than 12 years and I have worked as a freelance in several instances. And today I'll be discussing the pros and the cons of being a full-time employee and a freelancer. So stay tuned and watch this video. When I was employed a few years back, I used to envy people who were working on their laptops sitting in coffee shops. So like, what kind of work are they doing and how are they earning their money while sitting in coffee shops in different places? And my social media feed is flooded with photos of freelancers sitting on the beach, drinking from a coconut while working. And I said like, I would love to have that kind of work that will bring me to a remote village and work in my own free time. The internet has actually made this kind of work really popular. And it seems like a dream come true. Then in 2014, I finally did it. I finally resigned. I quit my job. I quit my full-time job and I entered the world of freelancing. It was surreal. I was my own boss. I owned my time. I did not have to wake up early and get dressed. I can wake up anytime I want. I can sleep anytime I want. I don't have to be afraid to be marked absent at work or marked late, and I don't have to attend nonsense meetings. So yes, I finally did it in 2014, but then just after a few weeks, reality started to bite me. My savings was already depleting, summer was approaching, and I did not have projects down the pipeline. I was scared. And here in Dubai, if you want to work as a freelance, there are paperwork that you have to complete. You have to still have a visa, you still have to have a work permit, and if you want to work with bigger companies, you have to have a trade license. And I had a family to provide for. It's not just me. I have children to think of and I have family back home to think of and I have commitment. I have like insurance to pay off. So I started to really hustle. Before I had my work or project or assignment laid out for me, I had a particular job description, but after being a freelance, I have to do everything myself. I have to market my own services. I had to look for clients and I had to do customer service. It's not that I was not doing that beforehand, but then this time I really have to hustle hard. Otherwise, I would go hungry next month. Working in pajamas sounded attractive to me at first, but then I started getting tired of working in my pajamas. I used to dress up for work, and now I don't even have an excuse to dress up. And when you're not dressed up, you don't feel like working, you don't have confidence. And as ironic as it sounds, I miss talking to managers, I miss talking to colleagues. I was working on my own, and majority of my time, I was talking to myself or my children. I miss the surprise birthdays the company used to throw for the employees, and no one even remembered my birthday except for my mom and my dad and for my social media friends. And I miss that kind of interaction, that community. But freelancing has its own perks. Don't get me wrong, I love owning my own time and I never gone back working in the corporate world. You can succeed in both situations. You can succeed in freelancing and you can succeed in the corporate world. It's just that success in the corporate world depends on several external circumstances. It depends on the company you work for or your manager. It depends on how much opportunity there is open in your company. And success in freelancing world depends on entirely yourself. It depends on how much self-discipline you have. It depends on your drive and your ability to plan ahead. So let me break down the pros and cons for each side. Number one, stability. They said if you're employed, you have stability. Well, sort of, yes. You already know how much money you will be earning next month and the following months. Although depending on the current market situation, companies can lay off employees and then you're unemployed instantly. There is sort of more stability in being employed versus when you're freelancing, because in freelancing, you don't know how much clients you'll get next month or how much money you will receive by end of the next month. In the freelancing world, you might get a project, but not everyone gets paid too. The same goes for certain companies. Some companies don't pay their employees. Believe it or not, there are a lot of companies here who delay their employees' salary. I will not name one of them, but I know a lot of people who have worked for several months and not received their salaries. The next factor is predictability. So yes, with predictability, when you're employed, you practically know what's going to happen next month, and there will be telltale signs if the company is losing money and your job will be in danger. In freelancing, everything depends on you. Your future depends on how much effort and how much hustle you have put in this month. If you have not marketed yourself this month and you have not put yourself out there, you have not sent out promotions to your clients, you have not called them, guess what? You won't be getting that project next month. The third is flexibility. Freelancing wins on this aspect hands down. You are flexible, you own your own time, you don't have to report to work from 9 to 5, but then again, sort of. In freelancing, yes, you are your own boss, but when you have a client, he is your boss. He's the one paying you. So yes, if a client wants you to meet a certain deadline, then you have to answer to that. When you're employed, you have to be in the office from a certain time. You have to report on a certain time, and you can only go home at a certain time. There are companies out there who give the flexibility, who grants freedom to certain employees, to certain loyal employees, but then you have to earn it. So it also again depends on the company and your situation. But freelancing wins on that aspect because majority of the freelancers definitely owns their own time. Our fourth criteria is benefits. I have shared a video previously of why I quit my job, and you can watch it here. And being my own employer, I kind of miss the benefits of being employed in a big company. You get your annual paid leave, you get health insurance, you get other benefits like discounts, bonuses. However, if you're freelancing, you have to worry about all those things. You have to consider buying a good insurance for yourself and your family. You cannot take a stress-free 30-day annual leave without worrying about your business unless you already have a team that you can delegate your work to. So being employed wins that criteria. Our fifth criteria is freedom. That is what most employees look for. They want the freedom to do their own thing. They don't want to report to a boss. They want to go whenever they want to go. They want the freedom to say no. And most freelancers enjoy that freedom. But like I said before, whenever you have clients, there's always a certain kind of freedom that you can enjoy. Especially during the lean season, saying no to a client means saying no to income. But once you're committed to a client, to a project, you only have a certain kind of freedom that you can enjoy. In my case, the shooting schedules, shooting late night, and in some corporate projects, my freedom of creativity is also compromised because I have to follow a client's brief. There is a certain kind of freedom that you enjoy as a freelancer, but it's still a limited kind of freedom because you have bills to pay, you have responsibility to your family that you need to provide for them, and you have responsibility to your future self that you need to provide for your future self. And my last final criteria is social life or community. When you work in a big company, you have your colleagues that you see every day. You're not stuck at home alone, staring at a blank wall or staring at a blank space, looking out the window because you have friends to talk to. Unless you have a big enough circle of friends, being a freelancer can be lonely. That's why there's a lot of emotional stress with entrepreneurs because most of them tackle their problems alone. And my final criteria is money. They say that freelancing is financially more rewarding. It's not true in all cases. Some freelancers starve, and some freelancers, they of course earn more than full-time employees. But it all depends on the person also. Some employees are already enjoying the fruits of their labor because they got promoted, they're in managerial roles with a rewarding salary. Believe it or not, as a business owner, I don't get paid as much as some doctors and some lawyers and some managers out there. But they say it's not all about the money. Because truth of the matter is, no matter if you're a freelancer or a full-time employee, we all have expiration dates. We will all come to a point that we can no longer work as hard as we used to. Our bodies will not allow us to work 15 hours a day, and our mind will not be as sharp as it used to. Let's be all realistic here. There will come a point that we will all be replaced by a younger breed. They will be faster, they will be stronger than us. And in both cases too, freelance and full-time, you are still trading your time for money. So my verdict, is it freelance or full-time? My advice to everyone is for you to start thinking now of building something that you can scale and something that will give you passive income, especially when you get to the point near to your expiration date when you cannot work as hard as you used to. For me, this should be everyone's goal. You know what the problem with our world right now is that we live in a world of discontentment. We always think that the grass is greener on the other side. So I see so many employees who complain about their work. They complain about their 9 to 5 jobs. They complain about their boss. They complain about the projects they're handling. But then I meet a lot of unemployed individuals who will give up everything for a permanent employment. I meet a lot of big earners who do not feel fulfilled with their current jobs. And yet I meet low earners who are very happy with their job and they are very content with what they have. I was in a restaurant the other day and this waiter was like serving us happily, offering us the best in their menu. He was suggesting, he was even mentioning some of his personal life and how happy he is. And he was full of joy and it was so contagious. And I was like thinking, this guy should be awarded Employee of the Month. He's so full of enthusiasm. He's so happy with his work. A doctor who I met, who was not even smiling, who did not have a personal interaction with us, and who was just like treating us like just another number. So I think freelancing or full-time work, it all boils down to how content you are with what you currently have. You should have goals. Everyone should have goals. Everyone should go for their goals, go for their dreams, but they should also be happy with what they currently have. They should thank God for their daily blessings. So my final word to everyone who's watching this video right now, if you're a freelancer or you're a full-time employee, do your best in whatever job you are currently doing or with whatever job you will be doing in the future. Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. And like I said, everyone has an expiration date. We all get old, we all get weak. So start thinking about how you can build a way for you to earn passive income. Save for your future self. Do something for your future self that your future self will thank you for. Start thinking about it right now. Start working on it right now while you're still young, while you still have the energy, while you still have the strength to do so. So that ends our video today. If you like this video, there's a like button below. There's a subscribe button too. Please do subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching. And I hope you got inspired and God bless. Ciao!